Hey guys, is everyone having a good time so far? Yay! Awesome, let's officially kick off this hackathon. All right, so first of all, thank you so much for applying to Hack and for actually showing up with the intention of building something impactful. Our team has been working really hard in the last couple of months with the support of our generous sponsors and our amazing event contributors and volunteers to make the second Eat Prague Hackathon a really impactful event. And to provide you with a space where you can learn, where you can connect with others, where you can build impactful solutions. And we hope that you're going to find this talk inspiring. So I just wanted to talk about the general theme of the hackathon first, which is solar punk. You might have heard of already. But what is solar punk, really? So it is a still relatively new and still evolving movement, and it's really complex, and there is no general definition of it really on purpose, actually, because it's still being built. So I just want to talk about my takeaways and a couple of things that we really want to emphasize about this hackathon. So first, I want to talk about this concept that I recently came across. I'm not going to talk about people who deny that we need solutions for some issues, because I don't think that's truly relevant. But there are different approaches as well when it comes to environmentalism, according to this concept. So the first one is light green. This is more like a popularist approach, where you do all the different things that are told in the mainstream channels, like you do recycle, you take your shopping bag, your reusable shopping bag to shopping, you buy the environmentally friendly eco products, and it's a bit based on existential hope or like wishful thinking, like we hope that this is going to help. And of course, these are important steps in order to create a more sustainable future, but it's limited in a way that it's only focusing on solutions that are existing right now. And it can also be associated with greenwashing, because oftentimes these products or services are more sustainable compared to the previous version, which was very bad, but it's still not really sustainable. And then the next stage is dark green, where you actually kind of realize these things, or you were never really light green, you just kind of dark green when you actually realize that there are problems. But you're kind of passive because you don't think that you really can make an impact, or you're just blaming the big corporations that they should make the changes, not you, and the little things that you do won't really make a difference. And this is also sometimes expressed in protests, which can be very powerful tools for us to show that some part of society is disagreeing with a system or something, but at the same time it's not focusing on solutions, but it's focusing on the problem. And then there is bright green, which is based on a utopian hope. It's more proactive. It's focusing on solutions that might not even exist yet, and it's focusing on solving problems or doing things in a way that is more sustainable. So it's not necessarily criticizing the system. I mean, it's acknowledging that the system is not the best, but how can we make the things we already do in a better way? And that takes us to solar punk, which you probably know about it already. You probably did your research, or you already involved with some kind of company, project, or organization about sustainability. So obviously, it's rooted in environmentalism and sustainability. It's hopeful and it's proactive, as I mentioned before. And it's focusing on solving issues through technology and to make our lives easier, more convenient through technology, what is actually human-centric and ecocentric. And it's also emphasizing the balance between nature and technology. And the aesthetics of it is actually based on Art Nouveau, which was an anti-capitalist movement in the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century. Art Nouveau actually had a really strong impact here in Prague. So if you walk around in the city, if you have some free time, you can see a lot of buildings built in an Art Nouveau style. And it's a really beautiful artistic movement. And it was basically the basics, the base for solar punk ideas as well. Solarpunk is also refusing dystopian futurism and nihilism. It's also refusing the 20th century's modernism, which is based on let's just destroy everything and build something completely new with materials that didn't even exist before. It's also anti-capitalist. And it's also refusing the anarcho-primitivism, which is now another movement that is emphasizing to go back to pre-industrialization way of living. And the reason why this is contradicting with solarpunk, because this one is refusing the use of technology and emphasizing to go back to the roots and not use any modern technology. Solarpunk is emphasizing grassroots initiatives, also strengthening communities, regenerative ways of doing things. And with the emergence of Web3 and decentralization and DAOs and better ways to coordinate things, new doors were open for us. So this is the reason why we are merging these two words together here at this event, Solarpunk and Web3 and Ethereum, because we think that together we can come up with really powerful solutions for the future and solutions that didn't exist before. And I just wanted to mention a couple of things about the hackathon and Solarpunk, merging the two things. So we want you to, we would like to encourage you to build solutions that focus on the reduce, recycle, the reuse things that we already have, that are already existing. Like, for example, sometimes we build new neighborhoods around cities and the old buildings in downtown are getting abandoned and old and dirty and nobody wants to live there anymore. So those neighborhoods could be upgraded and renovated and even make them more sustainable. But this is just an example. Also, think global, act local. So you don't have to look for too long to find an issue in your local community, neighborhood, city, or town. There are plenty of issues need to be solved. There might be some organizations that are already working on those issues. So you can even think about how you could help them improve or how you can help them connect or help them with what they do or improve what they do. Also, a very important part of Solarpunk is use your imagination. As I mentioned before, Solarpunk is based on solutions that doesn't exist yet, especially technology-wise. Think outside of the box, feel free to explore. There are no strict rules in the hackathon. You can experiment with projects and ideas that doesn't exist yet. And we also want to emphasize to the concept of help people to improve or educational projects. For example, because if we are just trying to improve the tech and create a better system without the people improving, then we're just going to end up with a bunch of, scams and rug pulls and stuff like that. So we really want to emphasize that too. And there is a new concept around collaboration at this hackathon. This was not really announced anywhere yet, but and this is not a rule, but we want to encourage you to collaborate with other projects at the hackathon. Talk to other teams, see what they are building, see how you can cooperate, see how you can build something that's complementary to each other. and on that folio, when you submit your project, and you can actually name those other projects that you talk to, or there is a possible collaboration in the future with those projects. Because we don't want just a bunch of projects that are like isolated and only focusing on themselves, but we want to create like a network of great projects, because the saying, like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So this is a new concept. This is not a requirement for the hackathon, but judges going to look for this on your projects. So try to talk to other teams and try to collaborate. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Chachi. And she's going to talk about the hackathon rules and some numbers. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate her, because she has been coordinating this hackathon as a hackathon lead in the past couple of months. Yeah, and I think she did one hell of a job. So, all right, you're up next.
Thanks. All right, guys, I'm super nervous. First time doing this. Some numbers. So we had over 800 applications this year. We had to do a little bit of reviews, and in the end, 625 hackers were confirmed. And I'm really glad to see so many of you here. We have 35 mentors, 16 judges, 5 SolarPunk awards, 2 favorite awards. We're going to talk about that later. And 17 sponsor bounties, and we have the sponsor here that we're going to talk about their bounties in a bit, for a total prize pool over $130,000. So, as you know, there are a few basic rules for the hackathon. I'm listing here the main ones. There is the hacker manual, where you can find all the information. And if you have any question, of course, to reach out to me or to the team. But the basic rule of most of the hackathons, so max of 5 people per team. The code should be coded during this weekend. Don't steal other team source code, which doesn't mean that you can't collaborate with them. You can collaborate and make sure that you're complementary, as we were saying. And only projects submitted by teams of accepted hackers may compete for the prizes. Let's go in. Okay. So all the hackathon info are in the hacker manual. If you scan this QR code, you go directly to the hacker manual. But it's a very easy subdomain here, hackermanual.ethbrag.com. And the hackathon projects will be submitted through DevFolio. Again, another easy subdomain to remember. You can already go in DevFolio and create your profile and be ready, so you don't do it last minute, as it usually happens. You can create the team there and be just ready for the project submission. Why am I saying this? We have 2 submissions for this hackathon. So tomorrow, Saturday, at 4 p.m., we encourage you to pre-submit your project. You should already have an idea, should already have, figured out what you're building. So just pre-submit. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the information, but that will let us know that you want to present in front of the judges. So the judges, and we will talk about quadratic voting in a second, they will see the list of projects that actually want to present in front of them, and they will be able to vote and decide the top 10 for each category of the SolarPunk Awards, and those projects will be presented on Sunday. The deadline for all the projects is at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Of course, we have a Hackers Telegram group. I hope all of you are in there. If you're not, we will keep sending emails about the hackathon with all the info. And now the SolarPunk Awards. So you probably already saw it in the website, I hope. There is a little bit of a description for each one, but they all basically summarize what Eniko was talking about just a little bit earlier. And for each one of these awards, there is a prize for one winner for each one of 2,500 euro. And these are the awards that the judges will judge. Then we have other two awards, the hacker's favorite and the audience favorite. So at the registration desk, you should have received a QR code that's for the quadratic voting. And through that QR code, you'll be able to vote basically your favorite. As a hacker, you just vote for the hacker's favorite. As an audience, for the audience favorite. So how does the quadratic voting work? Okay, so I will ask Dr. Nick to come on stage, and he will talk a little bit about this.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. Hello, are you ready to hack? Good. Right, so who's done this game before? If you've been to one of these hacks where this was decided, there's a few of you. We've done this, I think it's the fourth time we've done this now. We did it, I think the first time was ETH Berlin. We did ETH Brno, Theory in Zurich, and now we're doing it here. And each time it's kind of iterated and modified a little bit. I'm going to try and walk you through what the mechanic is. It will decide your fate this weekend on whether you're going to win or not. So basically, you should have received one of these codes on the way in. Who registered and didn't get one? Here we go. This is Sybil attacks starting to happen. So as you might know, quadratic voting has a huge amount of promise, but it also has some challenges. One of which is Sybil resistance. So you can do this with scary metallic orbs, or you can do this with a bit of trust. And we prefer the trusty approach. Yeah, so basically, you're supposed to get one of these each. Now, we've already messed this up. So the audience ones are going to be a bit looser on the Sybil resistance, let's say. I've got some in my pocket. I'm going to dish them around. You can get one of them as well. The hacker ones are important. You should get one each. People remotely can't have them. You get one of these each. Don't lose it. If you lose it, you've lost it. And basically, you want to turn up and vote for this. This will determine the Hacker's Choice Award. There's money on it. But also, it's your opportunity to sort of explore the other projects. And so basically, each one of these gives you a budget of voting power. Each one gets actually 99 voice credits. This is one of the iterations. So if you've got 100 voice credits, it means you can vote 10 times on one project. If we give you 99, you got like 18 left over, and you can distribute it across the other projects. And that's what you should do. You should express your preferences as much as possible. It is a game. There's like a degree of game theory in this. If anyone wants to get into that rabbit hole with me at some point this weekend, I'm happy to go through any of this with you. But basically what we get is a preference sorted list of everyone's, and that's what determines the winners, the runners-up. This time, the judges are going to do that. So if you go to vote.eth Prague, you'll see that there's now different realms, we call them in there. There's people voting on the streaming platform. So we've integrated this quadratic voting thing into StreamETH. So if you want to watch it remotely, if you just go into the ETH Prague Telegram group and say you want a token there, you'll get DM'd one by one of the team, and you'll be able to use the chat and the voting system. And over the weekend, we're going to try and integrate that into the talks. So like, we should have like curated questions coming in on the streaming platform. You'll do your hacker vote there. The audience will do one, and the judges will do one. You shouldn't be able to see inside the judges' realm. So the judges will vote and curate with this. But yeah, this is experimental technology. It's hot off the press. We're hacking it in real time. So if there's any issues with it, or if you have any questions, just like grab me. I'll be floating around for the whole weekend, and I just love talking about this stuff. So any questions, direct them towards me, or get into the ETH Prague Telegram group, and one of us will pick you up there. Does anyone have any questions? I know this is like, I know probably shouldn't do questions now, but is that clear? Anyone confused? All right, brilliant. Enjoy, make some brilliant stuff, and come and grab me and talk about voting over the weekend.
All right. right, so for some of you, this is the first hackathon, which is great. That's how I started as well with my first hackathon last year, actually here in Prague. And so we have a Hackathon 101 and Team Formation workshop at 2 in the Hacker House. There is a workshop room, and AOMG from Encode Club is going to help us walk through how to tackle a hackathon if it's the first time, but also do the team formation. So it's very informal. So please join if you're still looking for a team. This is the moment, and we're going to help facilitate that team formation. Now the sponsors. All right, so we have 17 sponsor bounties, and now we're going to go through them one by one. They will explain a little bit about their bounties. Please don't forget when you submit your project to tag the stack that you're using. So you will see in the hacker manual, there's explain how to do it, but it's very simple. In the project submission form, there is a space for the technology used, and you're just going to tag the sponsors. So they will know that you use their tag and they will go through your project. Okay, so we will start with Ave.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to go back. Yeah, it's not working now. Can we fix this? Sorry, guys. Just get them to...
If we can get...
I go ask them to fix, sorry.
Oh, it's going, it's going.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Today, I'm excited to announce that for the ETH Pride Hackathon, that the Aave Grant Style is sponsoring a total of $10,000 in bounties. So first off, I would highly encourage everyone to scan this QR code. This will take you to a link tree which has a complete list of all of the different tools that you would need to get building with Aave and Go, like contracts, SDKs, all that stuff. So for the 3 bounties that we have the best Go hack. This is super open-ended. It can be integrations, dashboards, anything that you can really think of. And that goes for all of these bounties. So we have the Go hack, we have Aave with optimism, and then we also have the best hack with governance. So the Go hack and governance are in USDT. The Aave with optimism is in OP. And I highly encourage you guys that if you have ideas to tag us in the Telegram group whenever you submit your hackathon projects. Happy building.
API 3.
Hello. Firstly, thank you for organising all of this. You see, it's been a very pleasant experience so far, and I'm sure it'll continue to be. Look, so yeah, API 3, we build first-party oracles. Pleased to share that we've got a $5,000 bounty for this weekend, and there's going to be 4 tiers that people can kind of go into to challenge that with. The first is we're keen to see new DeFi primitives be introduced here, akin to the broader kind of theme that you guys have outlined. And yeah, we're offering $2,500 for that track as such. The second is paymasters is a fascinating concept. I'm sure many people have probably heard about this already from different entities around the hackathon. But to execute a paymaster, you require a price oracle to do so. And we're looking for kind of innovative ideas or good applications of that primitive within protocol designs. The third is that general use of the API 3 Oracle stack. We have a very flexible open source Oracle node, and we have public good services such as QRNG, which we want to see people obviously engage with and see if they can apply this in their dApps as such. And the latter, I've actually changed this, so I apologize for not updating it. I think I tried to do this and the Wi-Fi didn't connect. But yeah, we're looking for collaborators for different infrastructure stacks. We could integrate with perhaps the graph, for example, and that could create a very nice use case for an Oracle. We could use other different types of infrastructure partnerships. And if there's people that are out there creating these unique use cases, that we'd like to hear from them. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So this is the sponsor bounty for Base, for Coinbase, and we don't have somebody presenting, but you can find all the information in the hacker manual, all the instructions, and this is the QR code that they put on their slide. You can see there is first, second, and third for the best app or tooling that can bring the next wave of creators on chain. Go on with the chain safe.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'd like to invite all the hackers to hack around our Web3.js and the long-awaited version v4 that has recently been released. We have the total price of 5,400 USD that is split into parts. One is Web3.js plugins, meaning developing functionalities beyond the Web3.js itself. And the other one is Web3.js library optimization and bug bounty, meaning finding core crucial bug fixes, finding them and fixing them, of course, and then optimization to the libraries itself. We are sponsoring, so there are three winners to each of the prizes, so 3 times 500 or 3 times 1,300, I think. Yeah. Thank you very much, and happy hacking.
So Ethereum Foundation, account abstraction.
Hey everybody. So this hackathon, we also have an ERC 4337 bounty. So we have 3 bounties for €2,000 each. And what we'd like you to focus on is, first of all, paymasters, which is a very exciting topic right now. And there's a lot of big teams that have recently released all kinds of documentation and demos with it, including like Alchemy, Visa, etc. So there's a lot of resources out there. Dev tools is the second thing we'd like you to focus on, which is either augmenting the existing dev tools in the ecosystem, because as developers, we all know how fun, a lot nicer it is to just start up a project by having like one CLI command and just everything rolls up. That's what we're kind of aiming for in having with, Hardhat, WagMe, all the different tools out there. Or alternatively, if you can create something by yourself, that's, we always love that. For instance, one of the projects that came out of, I think it was ETH India, is JiffyScan, which is like EtherScan for 4337 transactions. And they later got a grant from the foundation, and it's a really great project. Finally, freestyle, just surprise us with anything you can think of, but please, not another wallet. I mean, it's just that we have a lot of like those basic kind of like wallets that are just like, oh, here's another way to do social recovery and everything. That's great, we love those, but we kind of saw enough of that. We want to start seeing other things as well. If you have some really, off-the-chain idea, like tons of wallets that do like a mesh network, that do recovery between themselves, or something really crazy that we haven't seen before, then great, we'll look at it. But not just another like a basic wallet. And yeah, and just one more thing. We love account abstraction very much, but we do want everybody to focus on using 4337 and all the different tools that are out there. We didn't put up a QR code, I'm sorry. So you can go on erc4337.io, and there's a lot of resources there. And there's a lot of kind of SDK and tools in the area that actually use 4337. So one thing we will look at when you submit your bounty is that there is a transaction that went through the entry point contract, okay? So we want you to use 4337 for those submissions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Now we have privacy and scaling.
We are from the Privacy and Scaling Explorations team. We're a team at the Ethereum Foundation that works on applications of zero-knowledge proofs, and in particular, we are running some bounties related to the UniRep protocol. My colleagues here are here to support anyone who is planning to hack on this. So we have a total of $5,000. Oh, there's a thing right here. So we are planning to award $2,000 each to the best 2 projects and $1,000 for the most creative approach. Unirep is a zero-knowledge-based protocol for handling anonymous user data and reputation. Everything is in the thing on the
Hacker
website,
manual.
the hacker manual. And yeah, check out the developer docs, developer.unirep.io. There's lots of good information and tools for you there. And we will also be in the hacker space at our booth, so come say hi and bring us any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you. You have Gnosis and Gateway.
Hi. So, presenting bounties for Gnosis and Gateway, because we're co-sponsoring the event. So on Gateway side, there's 3 bounties actually, so one for 5,000 and 2 for 2.5. Those are actually credits for Gateway, so for using the RPC and infrastructure in general. The only requirement is to build basically using Gateway's RPCs. So you can apply on admin.gateway.fm, should be very fast. It's very open, so just have fun. And you can use any of the chains available on Gateway. On Gnosis chain side, there's a bounty for $2,000. And well, it's for building a Gnosis chain or Kialo, which is the testnet. Ideally, if you can demonstrate the power of AI, that would be very nice. It's an emerging kind of, well, use case that's very interesting for blockchain. You can also build some interesting interfaces for Uniswap, which contracts are already deployed on Gnosis chain. Or just surprises, have fun, well, happy hacking.
We have Lens protocol.
All right. So my name is Nader Dabit. I'm here with Aave and Lens Protocol, here specifically to talk about the Lens bounties. We have 4 bounties, 2 for the best Lens applications and 2 for the best Lens integrations. If you haven't used Lens before, it's basically the social layer of Web3. It's a protocol and a set of APIs, a suite of SDKs, and a lot of tooling for developers to build social applications or to build social features into their applications. So with our SDKs, you can get started in as few as maybe like 2 lines of code. And some of the stuff that we're really excited about and looking for here, we have an entire page at lens.xyz. You can click on apps, and you can see a lot of different applications that developers are already building. You can also look at a page that we have that's inspiration for builders. So it's just a bunch of different applications that we'd like to see. I'll call out some of the types of apps that we're looking for. Some of the most successful apps on Lens are really mobile focused. So either mobile apps using React Native or native iOS, or they're mobile, they're web apps that are kind of optimized for mobile. So we're looking for that. We're really excited about ERC6551. We've seen a lot of developers already start experimenting with that. So if you're building on Lens, definitely consider looking at that spec and seeing what you might be able to come up with. We're seeing a lot of cool stuff happening with ML and AI in terms of building recommendation algorithms and building out different APIs than the ones that we offer. So we have a handful of teams that have already started building out some really cool stuff. It's available to start using. So stuff like Karma 3, if you want to get inspiration. But if you are interested in maybe kind of rolling a custom recommendation algorithm, we would love to see that. And yeah, that's kind of just an overview of some of the stuff. So yeah, we're really happy to be here. And if you have any questions, we have a booth downstairs. Stop by, scan our PO app, and get a Lens profile. Also pick up some swag. If you're building on Lens, me and Andrew are both here from Lens and Aave. We will sit down and we'll hack with you and we'll help you. If you have any questions or you run into any blockers, we're going to be here like with the hackers and either in this building or in the other building. So that's it for me. Thanks.
Thanks.
Hello, hello. Today with the Maker community, here to presenting Spark Protocol. So Spark is a lending platform with reapplication. The borrow rate for DAI is a predictable rate because it's based on governance from Maker rather than utilization. So The bounties this time around are really about tooling around MEVs, hyper-competitive, but we could all use with better liquidation bots. So if you're interested in building that, we're very happy to support that. We also have user analytics, something I think that's kind of missing in the space. So if you're kind of a data nerd like me, feel free to look into that. We also have automation. Think about one-click closing your position or one-click doing leverage. We're also very interested in that. Okay, missing one actually. It would be cool if someone builds a automated position manager. We'd love to support that, as well as alerting system. Again, as long as it benefits the community and Spark, we're very happy to support. And if you have anything that's not part of that, please come talk to me. I'd love to support that. All the info is in the hacker manual. But if there's anything missing, please let me know. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello. Super excited for this hackathon. Yeah, so Mantle is a modular layer 2 scaling solution, and we have 15K in total for ETH proc bounties, ranging from different domains, best DeFi project, best NFT or gaming project, best UX. Also, we have a pooled bounty and best content bounty for any of like content creators who are not non-technical. You could also compete for Mantle bounties as well. And building on Mantle is super easy. We are a EVM compatible chain, so if you can deploy on Ethereum, you can definitely deploy on Mantle as well. Yeah, here's a QR code that links you to a kind of our hackathon startup guide. Most of the resources, developer resources that you need to build and deploy on Mantle are there. Also, if you need any support, I'm going to be here on site at the Mantle booth, as well as my kind of colleague, Mark. Thank you. Have a good time hacking.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from NEAR? If not, this is the sponsor bounty for NEAR, so I guess you can scan the QR code and find more information. All the instructions, as I said millions of times, are in the hacker manual. Basically, that's your spot where you're going to find all the details that each sponsor wants you to follow. I'm going to move on to Optimism. Also, Optimism is not here. So here's their sponsor bounty, 5,000 OP. For the top 5 teams that will split 1,000 per each team. And now, Pawn. Thank you. Oh. I don't know if I'm pressing too hard or too soft, I don't know.
Good morning, hackers. I'm happy to announce that Pawn has a bounty of 5,000 DAI. It will be given to one or divided between more projects, depending on the number of submissions we'll get. Here you have some inspiration, but it's really not about just building these features. We want to see some alignment with the main track. So yeah, surprise us with what you can get, how you can hack Pawn or integrate it with some of these amazing Solarpunk tracks.
Thank you. Now we have Scroll.
All right, good morning, hackers. So I'm Raza, I'm a dev role with Scroll. Quick question, how many of you are familiar with Scroll by raise of hands? All right, good portion. So for those who don't know, we're a scaling solution, L2, built on Ethereum, a ZK rollup. Simply put, change your RPC URL, use the same dev toolings that you're used to using, and deploy your dApp. If you need any help, Studio 2, we have a booth over there. We have a $5,000 bounty split over 5 times $1,000 prize for projects with the best idea. Some tips for you: solve a tangible problem or build a relevant use case, or provide value to developers / community in terms of a public good. We're really looking for projects that are standing out there, and we're definitely here to help if you need any help building. Why have one QR code when you have 4? Basically, these will give you more information on any help you might need, whether it's quick developer start, or a quick kickstart for developers, or getting early ETH. If you have any questions or you need help building Studio 2, again, we have a booth over there. Quick reminder for the hackers, make sure that your smart contract address is verified on our block explorer and included in your README.
Thanks. Going back to Nir, who's here now.
Hey everybody, sorry for being late. It was a workshop at the hacker area, and I'm happy to be here and present that we have a sponsorship for the hackers today. It's gonna be €5,000 split across best up to three teams who will deploy their front-end part on the boss. I'm happy to cover the boss part for you at the near booth, or you can learn more from this QR code on a link tree. And quick tip is that you can combine this bounty with other bounties when you implement the front end on boss and back end on something else, Ethereum or any other blockchain that you, I don't know, love today. Thanks everybody.
Thank you. Taiko.
Hello. Hey everyone, I'm from Taiko. So Taiko is an Ethereum equivalent ZK rollup. So pretty much you can just treat it like you're building on top of Ethereum. We have 3 different bounties here. The first one is deploy on Taiko. So you can just think of that as like dApp development or deploying some kind of smart contract. Our test network is deployed on Sepolia, so you'll just need some Sepolia ETH, which you can find in our guides here. The second one is infrastructure, and you can kind of think of this as like kind of almost like Ethereum core development in some way. Our network is run, it's a decentralized network, and we have like node runners to propose blocks and prove blocks. So if you want to do anything interesting like integrating flash bots or making it easier to for community members to run nodes, then those could be cool infrastructure problems. And then lastly, Ethereum public goods. We have 500 DAI for that. That's just like anything that helps Ethereum, helps humanity, is something we want to reward. So we'll be at our booth. You can come talk to us, and we'll help you out to build whatever ideas that you have. So yeah, thanks.
Thanks. The Graph.
GM, I'm Arjan with The Graph, and we would like to offer $5,000 in bounties across 2 sponsor tracks. So best use of an existing subgraph or the best new subgraphs built. So we hope to see a lot of fully decentralized serverless applications this weekend. If you need any help, we have a booth right around the corner outside, and there's a room behind the stage. And we also have a hacker support group, so feel free to join that on Telegram, and we'll have help there throughout the weekend, also in the night. So please reach out to us there. See you soon, and happy hacking.
Thanks. And CK Sync.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So I'm Antonio from Matter Labs, CK Sync. For those that you know, CK Sync Era is a layer 2 rollup, and it's EVM compatible. And one of the main features that we have is that we have account abstraction built natively on the protocol. So we want hackers to build on top of that. It could be wallets or smart accounts that take advantage of this. Here we have some examples, like you can build a wallet with parental control or spending limits or application-specific accounts. And the other one is paymasters, which are my favorite thing about account abstraction, because with paymasters, you can pay the gas fees on behalf of the users or even enable gasless transactions. So yeah, again, we're asking hackers to build different paymasters with like proof of attendance, like build a paymaster that makes transaction fees free for the people that attended the conference, for example. And we have this QR code with a lot of examples. If you're not sure what to build, just visit this page. We have a lot of ideas, so you can just pick one and build it. And we have also a lot of resources about how account abstraction is implemented on CK Sync. We have tutorials to get you started So yeah, that's everything. We have $10,000 to split between different projects. And if you have any questions, we have a booth in front of the bar, which is the best location. And we also have a channel in the official Telegram group, so you can ask us questions there. That's it.
Thanks. All right, so this is Vinitro Block, our hacker house. If you haven't been there already, it's on the other side of the street. I just wanted to put the map here, but it's also in the hacker manual. So it's a big open space, but we also have a basement that is more like a hacking place, and the workshop room just right outside before you enter the open space. So the venue is going to be open partially to the public today and on Sunday. So the top part up there is another entrance for the public because it's also a co-working place. But most of the space is reserved for us, and for the night and on Saturday it's only for the hackers. Just mentioning this to be mindful to not leave your stuff around unattended. All right, again, this is where you find all the information. Since we saw all the sponsor bounties, just to mention that in the Telegram group, they all have their own topic where you can easily reach out to them to ask any question. And if not, you can find the instructions in the hacker manual. I will repeat about the folio. Go ahead, create your profile and set up the team. Be ready for the submissions. And enjoy ETH Prague. Thanks a lot.